Welcome to this video where we will discuss activating add-on licenses in Blue Open Studio, specifically for the STM6000 Edge Box HMI. Okay, so where I'm going to start is from an example of an out-of-box condition for the STM6000 Edge Box. I'm going to log into it. You can see runtime does not exist. It's waiting for a download. So, okay. And all I'm going to do for now is I'm going to just basically enable project download. So this enables the remote management tool in Blue Open Studio to connect to the unit. That's not checked. You cannot connect, and you'll get an error in the connection tool. Okay, so make submit. Changes will take effect after reboot. One thing that I'll point out is notice the default configuration of the Ethernet 1 is enabled, Ethernet 2 is disabled. Okay, so now I'm going to reboot the unit. And we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so now that we're back, we're going to go in to Blue Open Studio, and then I'm going to connect to the unit. I'm using the virtual USB to Ethernet adapter. I'm going to connect. Okay, I've connected, and I'm going to look at my embedded license. Okay, what we want to do is we want to take note of the site code. Okay, because this site code is being generated by the unit, and that's in the site code. And a part of this site code is the network configuration of the Edge box. So I'm going to copy this, and then I will paste it in a notepad just so we can take note of it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect. Say OK. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the unit. Log in. Okay. And so now what I want to do is, so you can see here, I'm still at my Ethernet is still at its default configuration. But what I want to do is I want to change the Ethernet 2. I want to basically assign it to DHCP so I can have it automatically receive an IP address. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit that. Okay, so after I reboot, so now I'm going to reboot. Okay. Be back in another minute. Okay, so we are back, and so we're back into Blue Open Studio. Going to reconnect. Connected. And look at my embedded license. Okay, and now what you'll notice is that the key or the site code did indeed change. So take note of this. Do note that if you activate and embed the license, so if in this case, if I would have gone in here and added my additional tag or thin client or whatever I would have added, once I add that and activate it, then that site code will change. And then when I change the network configuration, of course, the site code will change again. Okay, but note that you will not lose the license. And we will show that here when we come back. Okay, so back at Blue Open Studio, I'm going to reconnect to my unit. And oops, sorry. Okay. And what I've done is I've restored the unit, so that is a good thing. So what that means is that if you do make that mistake and you basically kind of destroy your site code, you can basically reset the unit and you'll get your original site code back. Okay, so now we basically have the unit in a state where the network is in its default configuration. We've enabled downloading, obviously, because I can connect to it. And then what I'm going to do is I have a case where I have purchased 2 tag upgrades. I've bought a 1.5K tag upgrade and a 4K tag upgrade runtime. Okay, for this, and I've purchased a pack of 10 thin clients on this, and I sent all the activation codes, etc., for those licenses in, along with this site code. Okay, so I got back a site key, which I'm going to put in now. I'm going to send it. Okay, and you can see what happened immediately. There's no, the only acknowledgement you get back is that it changed. So I went from basic all the way up to line management, and I added 10 thin clients. Okay, and you can see again the site code changed. Okay, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to disconnect from here. Okay, and I'm going to reconnect. Okay, I reconnected, but while I reconnected, I thought of something else I wanted to do. Let's take note of the site code that we have now. Okay, copy it. Here's our little notepad. Here was our original. I'll leave that in place and I'll just paste in our new one. Okay, disconnect. Okay, back to my browser. I'm logged in. I'm going to go to Ethernet. I'm going to change Ethernet 2 from disabled to automatic. I'm going to submit. Okay, after reboot. So we will reboot. Be back in another minute. Okay, so now the unit has rebooted. Let's just check what happened with its network. Let's just make sure that took and it's working. Yep, and you can see Ethernet 2 and automatic, and it did obtain an IP address. Okay, perfect. I'm going to log out. Okay, now let's go back and see. Okay, oops, again, I have to connect. Okay, look at my license. Okay, and you could see that it actually changed again. Okay, because of the network change. But the key to note is that I did not lose my license. The thin clients are still intact, and my tag count is intact.